Hello and welcome to a style video that I have not filmed in quite some time, I feel like. And this one I've been waiting patiently to do. I'm going to talk about 10 of my favorite Kendrick Lamar songs today on this video. And when I say favorite, I really mean most played because, especially with Kendrick Lamar's music, there are songs that I truly love, but that doesn't necessarily mean they are high rotation because these are what I would call like the digestible Kendrick Lamar songs that I really like to listen to when I'm working out casually, just whenever I want to throw some music on. These are the ones that like you can just easily listen to. Well, okay, for the most part, easily listen to. I would say they are my most played Kendrick Lamar songs, not necessarily all just my favorites because I really love Kendrick Lamar's work like so many other people, and some of it's really complex. If you've seen my other videos where I talk about my top 10 songs, I'm going to do this one a little different. I'm going to just go by album. I'm not necessarily like ranking from 1 to 10. With Kendrick Lamar, I felt like it was more appropriate to go favorite tracks that I listen to most from each album. And these are his like main albums I have. So it's going to be Good Kid, M.A.A.d City, To Pimp A Butterfly, Damn, and Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I'm going to also include some honorable mentions while I am talking about the tracks, starting with songs from Good Kid, M.A.A.d City. So picking the songs from this album were a little tricky, but when I knew I wanted to make this video, the first song that came to my mind without question was Backseat Freestyle. I would dare say Backseat Freestyle could be like in my top 3 most played overall because it is gritty. Lyrics are gritty. And here's the beauty of Kendrick Lamar's music. It's not music that I'm like, wow, I relate to this track, but he makes me feel his story so thoroughly and what he is thinking or feeling. And this song is a prime example of it because the beat is so catchy and it's very consistent for the most part throughout the track. But I am all about Kendrick Lamar's delivery on this track. There is so much variation. There's so many like tone shifts. There's like anger at points. No matter how many times I've listened to this track, the flow of it in itself just makes it so enticing and pleasing to listen to. It's a very satisfying track, all down to Kendrick Lamar's delivery on it, combined with a very consistent yet catchy arrangement. It's gold. Now, another track from Good Kid, M.A.A.d City. Now, this is where I said this is probably the most like non-easy listening track, and that is Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst. The reason why I listen to this one so much is because it's a genuine storytelling track. I mean, most tracks from Kendrick Lamar are, but this one is very raw in particular. And it really is, even though it's about a 12-minute song, the part 1 and part 2 are pretty split. So it does basically feel like 2 tracks in one. And this one isn't so much that I listen to if I'm like actively doing stuff. This is more of like a driving track, sitting and working on my computer sort of track. And it is a very emotional track. It's one that if you already know the lyrics, you can't just easily enjoy listening to it. And I kind of like how long it is, that I know what's going to happen next now that I'm aware of it. But at first, when I started listening to it, I just couldn't get over the lyrics and how raw it was. And that is why I have found myself listening to it many times. And then my last track from Good Kid, M.A.A.d City, it's got some more vocals on it because there's features, not just rapping. And that is the song Real. It's, I think, a very easy listening track. And as soon as I heard it for the first time, I could tell it was one of those tracks that would be more inclined to entice a variety of people, maybe people who don't like it when it's as dark wise, like lyrically or musically. That track, I feel like the music in itself, whether or not you're paying attention to the lyrics, is just so pretty sounding. I kind of love the relaxed vibe of the song. I love his relaxed delivery throughout it. I like that we're getting more like singing vocals. It's a bit more of like a whimsical track by Kendrick Lamar. I find it to be very relaxing and comforting to listen to. I don't think it's any surprise that the least amount of songs I have for casual listening is from To Pimp a Butterfly. To Pimp a Butterfly is art. It is very full of messaging. It is complex. Therefore, a lot of the songs are not ones that I personally can just casually on the fly listen to. There are very few tracks on there that I can do that. And the first one is a single, and that is All Right. I mean, this is like, for me, kind of a pump up song. If I need any form of like motivation, I like that it's more upbeat. It's a little bit more abrasive in the delivery. It's obviously produced well and ear catching. It gets stuck in your head. It's easy to play. It's one of those that I definitely turn to. It's like on my workout playlist because it is one of the more like digestible tracks, I guess you could say, from To Pimp a Butterfly. And then my next track is so funky in the music arrangement. King Kunta is so cool because it is funky. It is hip hop. It is the most like pump up song you could have just based off of the lyrics alone. It's definitely meant to like, you know, go for what you want essentially, but also the music, it's just that little funk flair was so out of left field for me when I first heard it, and it's addictive to listen to. I just love everything about it. I definitely probably listen to that one more than All Right, and it is that would probably be my most played track from this album. It's got all of the right things, and seriously, the arrangement itself is a bit more unique to other tracks I have heard from Kendrick Lamar, and I love it. Now we're on to Damn. Damn is an album that overall I listened to a variety of tracks from this album, but there are two that I could very easily say that I listen to most. The first one's a single, 100%. I absolutely love the song DNA. DNA is right up there with like some of the other tracks I mentioned in that it's a powerful track. It's a little bit darker in the music, but still upbeat enough that it is 100% a high rotation song for me, especially when I am on a run or just working out in general. I love the little switch in the middle of the song too. It's just all back to the delivery. A lot of the things I love in Kendrick Lamar's music. I mean, it's always a very beautiful package of music, in my opinion. I love the arrangements. I love the storytelling lyrics, but it's his various vocal deliveries or just like his flow in general. It's just so satisfactory to listen to. And DNA definitely has enough little like switch ups and things that catch your ear while still remaining extremely digestible to listen to. The next one from Damn that I listen to a lot is Humble, and it's right there at DNA. I feel like Damn gave a good handful of tracks that kind of like paired very well together. They feel more abrasive overall, like taking a stance and just really laying it all out there lyrically, and the music complements those lyrics very well. Once again, it's like the production of the song, it's relatively simple, but it just complements the delivery and the melody of the rapping just like so incredibly well that you can't help but want to keep listening to it. That's really, I mean, those are the things I enjoy a lot from Damn, is that I feel like there were just a lot of songs that really hit this really sweet spot of being really great melodically in the delivery, but having music that complements it incredibly well, and it doing just enough and kept in such a sweet zone of like feeling like you can take on the world basically. And I really, really enjoy it. So the last album we're talking about, this was probably the hardest thing for me. I'll be really honest. I don't know if Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is Kendrick Lamar's most popular album. I'm going to go with it's not. But it's that album that front to back I actually listen to most consistently. I've got a few honorable mentions and I've got 3 songs. The first one I want to talk about is Mirror. Mirror is right there with the song Real to me, where there's definitely a little bit of a different vibe to it, in the sense like it's not the same thing as like All Right or DNA or Humble. Like it feels more light, but also it feels very hopeful. Like I love the meaning of the song Mirror so much. I love the messaging. I love the lyrics to it. I love how it definitely is a brighter tone of a song for Kendrick Lamar overall. I mean, it's all about choosing yourself and doing what's best for yourself. It's a beautiful message lyrically, and the song is beautiful in itself with the production. In my opinion, a gorgeous track, and I listen to it a lot, a lot, a lot. Next up is different side of things. Count Me Out, another gorgeous track. I feel like there's a lot of gorgeous tracks on this album in a completely different way. This one is like they said, breakthrough at the very beginning. It's just the moment of, I think, clarity washing over Kendrick Lamar. I love the sadness and yearning and yet again, hopefulness that I feel in that track. Love the shifts that song takes. I think it's a very beautiful track to just take it all in and pay attention to the lyrics, but also just like to absorb the entire mood of the song. Mr. Morale, the last track I want to include here. I love, love, love the production on this track. The production sounds like kind of racing yourself and going through all these different, very real and raw thoughts. And it kind of feels like your head is spinning, I feel like, on the track, and it matches up with the lyrics. This one I like to listen to because I just think it sounds so cool. I really love the beats and the effects that were chosen, the delivery, it just matches it. I have said that on every track, but I think that's like what Kendrick Lamar is so incredible at. Obviously, I have not lived the same life as Kendrick Lamar. So it's not so much about listening to the lyrics and being like, wow, I really relate to this. It's listening to the lyrics and being able to be put in their situation, like, and being able to feel what they're feeling. It is a very beautiful thing to have the ability to put your thoughts and feelings and your life story into lyrics, create the music to go with them, that it can make any listener like get to see exactly what you want them to see or what life you've lived. I mean, that is like true musicianship right there. It takes the listener on a journey, whether or not it's a journey that listener has personally experienced or not. And I think that's why I am always so drawn to Kendrick Lamar's music. So please let me know what songs you would say are your heavy played or heavy rotation songs by Kendrick Lamar. And like I said, it's been a long time since I've done one of these videos, and I felt like I have listened to Kendrick Lamar's music for a few years now, that it was finally appropriate and time for me to be able to do this. So if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so. And thank you so much for being here. And until my next video, bye.